Durst the worst?
Durst the worst.
Durst the worst.
Durst the worst.
Durst the worst.
Oh, Durst the worst.
Durst is the worst.
Durst the worst.
Durst the worst.
Durst the worst?
Durst the worst.
Durst the worst.
We're back to having dialogue about abortion, hearings about abortion, and we are yet again perplexed as to what a fucking woman is. A law professor from Cal Berkeley says to Senator Hawley that he's being transphobic for saying that only women can get pregnant. Transphobic is not a real concept, by the way. You're not irrationally afraid of a troon. You're just rationally weirded out by a troon because they're delusional and they're having ideations of mutilating themselves, and they demand that you participate in their sexual fetish. So there's no such thing as transphobic. It's not real. Let's watch this exchange. These men can get pregnant people, be crazy, and shit. Let's watch this exchange indeed. Let's check it out.
Professor Bridges, you said several times, you've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Yeah.
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
Pregnancy
so this isn't
capacitors.
really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning
Infanticide.
Is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing that.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
Because of my line?
Because of his line of questioning. I thought it was 1 and 2. These people, I remember when people 4 or so years ago were saying that this was a fringe ideology that barely even existed. Now it's on the Senate floor, right? Or whatever, wherever the fuck. I'm in the dark as to where the fuck they're talking here, but because this just came across my feed. Just some lady who is saying that it's transphobic to ask whether or not a woman well, I don't even know what the fuck I'm seeing right now. I'm thunderstruck, honestly. This is set up to be as muddling and befuddling and stupefying as humanly possible, and you'll have to excuse me. I feel dizzy every time I see this kind of shit. I honestly do. Dude basically asked her if this was a woman's issue, and she's saying that he's opening up people to violence. Now, do they mean oh, you misgendered me and that's violence in and of itself? Or no, they're crazy septum cow-pierced people who are power-hungry control freaks. And I was assured repeatedly that these people barely all but did not exist. I was assured by moronic centrists and honestly far-left psychos just like this that these people barely existed, that it was all in my head. I needed to get off the internet and go touch grass, which may be true, but that doesn't change the fact that these people fucking still exist, and they are now influencing policy. So that's fun.
So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist
I'm
is
denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So
pregnant.
you are denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence? Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you?
Absolutely.
Or are they also treated like this, where
No,
they're
they're
told
allowed
that
to
they're
question.
opening up people to violence?
We have a good
by
time in my
questioning?
class. You should join.
Oh, I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot
I
just in this
know,
exchange.
absolutely.
Extraordinary.
Yep.
Amazing. Some septum-pierced, sassy, uppity Blake will never be a teacher of mine. Ever. Ever. He should not even fucking tolerate that back talk. That was just all sassy back talk of no substance whatsoever, no decorum, no class, no nothing. So yeah, I mean, they're having a hearing on abortion, basically. So now we actually have to muddle up the conversation even further, arguing about whether or not men, whatever, can get pregnant. How about no quarter? I just want to know why people like this are even... I mean, we all fucking know the small-headed individuals, but why people like this are even given a platform in the first place, let alone why so-called people on the so-called right are giving them an additional platform to argue this. I don't see what is to be gained. These people should be deplatformed, defunded, just ousted from society. They should be canceled. But unfortunately, guys that question their ideology are all too often canceled. So that's us losing. That's us definitely fucking losing. So, man, that is fucking absurdity. Again, this was a fringe ideology like 7 years ago, and now it's just being openly discussed. She's a law professor for what? You botched my proto-wang fucking surgery, and now I'm suing you? Like, what? Oh, my vag wound, my tilapia-coated vag wound is growing pinworms, so now I'm going to sue you, Dr. Blechenstein. I don't know what kind of law professor she is. Note how quickly into her spiel she calls Senator Hawley transphobic. She knows her argument is irrational and resorts to name-calling. Yeah, their entire argument is name-calling. Their entire argument is you're a bad person unless you give us everything we want at all times and just let us steamroll you at all times, even if we're being additionally irrational. Meltdown beginning at around 44 seconds is a clear concession of defeat. While to watch her unravel, I can't believe I'm being forced to defend Hawley of all people, but come on. Okay, here's a fucking moron. Women and trans women have female sex organs, so yes, they can have kids. The sex of a person and the gender of a person are not mutually exclusive. This is a dog whistle, and y'all know this. I don't even understand that gobbledygook. Okay, someone who's a male is a man, someone who's a female is a woman. That's really all it comes down to. Then this person, here's an example of how the dialogue gets mucked up. So now, this person, Marshall, probably well-intentioned, he feels the need to entertain this argument, this line of reasoning here. Now, if you're saying, quote, woman transitioning to a man can get pregnant, and this is what you mean by, quote, man getting pregnant, then okay, but a born man with a penis cannot get pregnant, lol. This has to be end times. It's like, right, you could just call him a groomer. Instead of, like, owning the libs with facts and logic, you could just call him a groomer. Call him a groomer, call him a pedo, because that's ultimately what he is, right? You could just shut him down, not with facts and logic, but with just calling him what he is, a pedo and a groomer. Like, if you support the trans ideology, if you are conciliatory toward them, if you are playing defense for them, if you're like, oh, but wait, you're probably a pedo. Oh, what's the harm in trans drag story time with 5-year-olds? You're probably a pedo. Don't debate the merits of like, oh, so if you transition from, if you trans surgery, are you a trans gender? Don't even engage. Call him a pedo, call him a groomer, figure out how to deplatform them, deplatform them, and move on to the next. That's what we should be doing on the so-called right, whatever, non-left. These are the professors Cal Berkeley has. The students deserve a refund, or maybe they don't. I don't know. But either way, this is awful. They should probably just like ban all the departments and reallocate the money somehow. Like just give it back. Just give a massive tax cut to the taxpayers. Probably fire a whole bunch of the professors and honestly arrest quite a few of them. It's these people just need to be arrested because a lot of them are fomenting terrorism in the streets. Just throw out the ad hominems. That's all they got. They're just really evil people who are badly motivated at every turn. They're power hungry. And they're the kind of people that, again, like 7 to 12 years ago would have been spanging from under a bridge somewhere on the street, right? But now they're being given positions of power. What kind of law professor? Dude, again, a law professor at Cal Berkeley. Now, there's idiots out there, well, yeah, Cal Berkeley, you should expect that. Of course, but that's the problem, that we expect Berkeley to be like that. People like this should be cashiers. But unfortunately, they're law professors, forcing us to debate this absolute nonsense. It's fucked.
All progressives do is lie. 100% of the time, without exception. They are pathologically incapable of telling the truth. They literally can't fucking do it. A direct lie of commission. They evade the topic. They fucking cherry pick evidence because all they do is lie without exception. 100% fuck of fuck the fuck time fuck.